The first set of players have returned to Hotspur Way. Pre-season training has now officially started. Peter Crouch has come out and said if Spurs can get a striker in this summer transfer window, then Spurs should be finishing at least 6th in the Premier League table next season. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has provided some transfer updates on Kolo Muani, Leão, Savinho, Gakpo and captain Cristian Romero. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another episode of Tottenham News where I'll be going for all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, if you do get 2 spare minutes and you'd like to support us on this channel, please do vote for us at the Football Content Awards 2026. All of the details are below. And as per usual, your support is really, really appreciated. Thank you. Preparations for the 2026-2027 season begun for our men's first team on Friday morning when the first set of players returned for pre-season training. Now, summer signing Matheus Fernandes was one of those who reported to Hotspur Way on Friday, meeting his teammates for the first time on his 22nd birthday. Now, other players included Archie Gray, Conor Gallagher, Destiny Udogie. We even saw Mohamed Kudus back training at Hotspur Way, as well as James Maddison and Kulusevski. Former Spurs striker Peter Crouch has been talking about Tottenham and the summer transfer window. He said, "I'm impressed how Spurs have just gone for it and fair play to them for acting quickly before the World Cup is over. I really like Marcos Senesi and Jean-Paul Van Hecke. They have made some really good signings so far. Dominic Solanke's got an injury problem, so they will probably be looking to get someone in that forward position as well. If Spurs get a striker in, they should be looking to finish at least in the top 6 again." Now, Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated that Randal Kolo Muani wants a move to Juventus this summer. This comes after a number of reports linking Randal Kolo Muani with a move back to Tottenham. Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed the player wants a move back to Serie A instead of returning to the Premier League. Fabrizio Romano has also commented on Rafael Leão and his links to Tottenham. He has stated, "I am not aware of any negotiations between Tottenham Hotspur, his agents and AC Milan." Fabrizio Romano has provided an update on Tottenham's next target in the summer transfer window. He has stated it is Savinho. Fabrizio said the names are Cody Gakpo and Savinho. Savinho is a top target for Tottenham. These are 2 players that are considered priorities for Tottenham in the winger position. It now depends on the negotiations. Savinho is number 1, 2 and 3. Tottenham wanted him a year ago. Fabrizio Romano then talks about Cody Gakpo and says he is a desire of Tottenham. It depends on Liverpool, but at the moment Liverpool are not opening the door for an exit for Gakpo. We have to be patient to see what happens there. Fabrizio Romano has also given an update on the Cristian Romero situation. Will the Spurs captain leave the football club this summer? Fabrizio Romano has stated he is scoring goals at the World Cup and has leadership. He is one to watch on the market. There is still a big chance to see Romero leave Tottenham in this summer transfer window after Spurs have signed Van Hecke and Senesi at centre-back. They also have Mickey van der Ven, so they are well covered in that position. Fabrizio Romano then goes on to say the exit of Romero is something that is really possible this summer. There is interest in Cristian Romero from Spain and also from Italy. He is a player that has many clubs appreciating him, so there could be movement from now until the end of the summer transfer window. He is doing a fantastic job at the World Cup. His leadership has been incredible. The market will move around Cristian Romero in the next weeks. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and I've got to say, and I've got to start by talking about pre-season training. This is when it feels exciting because football is now officially back. We will see the players in training. I've no doubt that the club will now be releasing videos and pictures on a daily basis. On Friday, they put a lot out, showing a lot of players returning to Hotspur Way. It was officially the first day of pre-season on Friday. A lot of gym work. Of course, they won't be kicking a football until probably next week. And it feels exciting. It feels like the season is just around the corner. So many players return to Hotspur Way. Great to see the likes of Kulusevski included in the club photographs released on Friday, and Mohamed Kudus as well. A lot of loan players, of course, have returned. Mikey Moore was in the photographs, Mana Solomon, Yang Min Hyuk. Of course, you've got the new signings as well, Matheus Fernandes and goalkeeper Dubravka. He was in the photos. So it does feel very, very exciting. Of course, a number of players who have featured at the World Cup, they will return later to Hotspur Way. And of course, the players that are still at the World Cup, they will then obviously follow on when they depart the World Cup. But Pedro Porro, many congratulations to him. Spain are now through to the semi-finals. But yeah, it does feel exciting, seeing the players return to Hotspur Way. They look absolutely delighted to be back. Dominic Solanke was also there as well. He looked absolutely delighted to be back at Tottenham. So really exciting times. From now until the end of the summer transfer window, Spurs can get another couple of statement signings in. I tell you what, it just will feel incredibly exciting going in to the brand new campaign. Now, Fabrizio Romano has given many updates on Kolo Muani, Leão, Savinho, Gakpo and captain Cristian Romero. Peter Crouch has also said if Spurs can get a striker in, then Spurs could finish at least in the top 6. I completely agree with Peter Crouch, and Harry Redknapp in the last couple of days talking on Sky Sports, he said that Spurs should be in the top 4, top 5, but I still feel like there is a little bit more work to do in this transfer window, and Spurs probably need to offload a couple of players in this window, and that is going to probably include captain Cristian Romero, as Fabrizio Romano has stated. But Peter Crouch is absolutely spot on. That forward line still worries me. We have done tremendous work in this transfer window in the defensive area and certainly in midfield when you're talking about Tonali and Fernandes now in that midfield. We have 2 huge gaps, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people will say exactly the same thing. Left wing, we really do need a replacement for Heung-min Son, a real statement signing in the area, and we need a top-class striker who is going to score goals. Yes, we do have Dominic Solanke. Yes, we do have Richarlison. I know a lot of very reliable journalists, they are stating that it's highly likely that Richarlison will go out the door. But of course, we have had so many injury problems in the football club, at the football club in the last couple of years. And you take someone like Dominic Solanke out of this starting 11, Tottenham really do struggle. And we need a top-class striker in the squad, and also to add competition. So that is an absolute must. But I completely agree with Peter Crouch's comments. If Spurs can get a striker in, I think as well, all of us Tottenham Hotspur fans will feel so much more confident going into the season, knowing that we have another option who can score goals. Now, a lot of people were very unhappy during Friday because a report came out from Italy stating that Tottenham had offered Kolo Muani the chance to come back, but Kolo Muani apparently wants to go to Juventus. He wants to go back to Serie A to play in Italy. That is music to my ears because I'm never disrespectful about players, but Kolo Muani, I just don't feel that he is an option for Tottenham in the Premier League next year. Now, with that said, and with all of the very negative, and there were a lot of negative comments I saw on Friday about Kolo Muani and a possible return to Tottenham, Roberto De Zerbi speaks extremely highly of Kolo Muani, and Roberto De Zerbi did a lot of work last season, at the back end of the season when Roberto De Zerbi obviously came in, and he tried to get the very best out of Kolo Muani. And do you know, one thing that I am very, very hopeful of, and one thing that I feel very excited about, is the fact that Roberto De Zerbi does work with players. He does improve players. And if Kolo Muani ever did come back to Tottenham, I would have faith that Roberto De Zerbi could get more out of Kolo Muani and more out of players than perhaps we have seen in the past. But do I feel like Spurs need someone at the next level, or even a good few levels above Kolo Muani? Absolutely. And I do hope that Spurs do deliver in this transfer window. I know a lot of people are talking about striker at Bournemouth, Eli Junior Krupi. That would be a sensational signing, in my opinion. You know, he ripped up the Premier League last season for Bournemouth, and you know, they finished sixth for a reason, and he was a big part of that. And Bournemouth somehow always seem to get you know, these fantastic signings in, and you know, their recruitment is top notch. And you know, Spurs probably need to start copying Bournemouth, Brighton, etc., because they always seem to get these top players in, you know, for really good money, and their scouting seems to be absolutely brilliant. Leão, apparently Tottenham have not been in negotiations, but from other reports that I've been reading and looking at, Spurs have apparently been offered Leão, but at this point it seems like Tottenham have actually turned that offer down. Savinho seems to be a top target again. He was a top target last summer under Thomas Frank, and now he seems to be a top target again. And it's funny because Savinho keeps liking all of Tottenham's posts whenever we seem to be signing a new player. He seems to be interacting with social media to do with Tottenham's transfer activity this summer. Whether that will happen or not, let's wait and see. Like Fabrizio Romano has stated, Cody Gakpo, of course, is another option as well. Tottenham admire the player a lot, but of course Liverpool at this stage are not you know, opening any doors to any exits for him. So that one will be an interesting one as well. But there is a long time left of this summer transfer window. I think about 50 days. So there is a long time left, a lot of deals to be done. And as Fabrizio Romano has stated, Romero could go out the door in this summer transfer window. I feel like everyone is expecting captain Cristian Romero to go out the door. And of course, when a player like Romero is having, and Fabrizio Romano has touched on this as well, when a player like Romero is having a fantastic World Cup by showing great leadership skills and by scoring goals, vital goals, linking up with Messi and co, then of course you're always going to be putting yourself in the shop window. And Fabrizio Romano last week said that Romero really does fancy going to Spain. He likes the thought of going to La Liga. So this is going to be an interesting situation for the captain. If Romero leaves, obviously I think that you know, Mickey van der Ven will be the Tottenham Hotspur captain for next season. But yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment. Spurs have done a lot of business. As Peter Crouch said, if we can get a striker in, then, you know, I think a lot of people will be expecting Spurs to do good things, great things next season, particularly that we're only going to be playing, you know, virtually one game a week, you know, without any Europe. And but yeah, a little bit more to do in the transfer window yet, but exciting times, as I've said, especially with the players now coming back to Hotspur Way, and pre-season is just around the corner. Spurs have a very busy pre-season. Of course, we will be starting at Hotspur Way behind closed doors against MK Dons, and then Spurs will be travelling away to New Zealand and Australia. So yeah, exciting times for the squad, exciting times for Roberto De Zerbi, and of course exciting times for us Spurs fans. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy your weekend, stay safe and well, keep smiling. I'll see you on the next one. Come on you Spurs.